Good evening, everybody. This is North Carolina Prepper, and I wanted to go over the results of my blood test after 1 year on the keto or ketosis diet. As you can see here, before anything, my fasting sugar was 136, which was high. My cholesterol was 199. Everything was pretty much okay, except for the triglycerides, which was 384. And the doctor said, oh my God, you're going to die like right now if you don't get on statins. So I got on a statin, and we took this. I didn't really pay much attention to my sugar because it's always been about 136, so I didn't do too much change on it. So we went ahead and took the statin, and then 6 months we were going to review the cholesterol. So we did. Now here we are 6 months later. You'll see the triglycerides actually dropped to 247. However, you'll now notice that the fasting glucose or sugar for the type 2 non-insulin dependent diabetic went to 201, and that pushed my A1C, which is an overall test of your sugar level, to 10.2. So at this point I thought, oh my God, my pancreas is failing, because no matter what I did, no matter how crappy I ate, it never went up. So I said, this is probably the statins. Now, if you look back at my video, we're now a year ago. And I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not taking it. I believe it's the statins pushing this up. And I dropped it. Now, this was my blood work I got a couple days ago. If you look here, my cholesterol is about the same, 195, which is still under 200. But you'll see that my triglycerides dropped to 103. Now, triglycerides are pretty much fat floating in your blood. So, excuse me. So as you can see, they dropped, and this is like eating bacon and fatty foods and high fat, low carb, high fat diet. So, just to show that this isn't bad for me, my N=1 size sample, I went ahead and got some ketone test strips to make sure I was in ketosis again. And these measure a urine sample to detect excess ketones in your urine. They're pretty cheap. All diabetics should have these anyway. If your sugar goes high, it goes to acid. It can go to acid. And unlike the movies, being an alien predator full of acid for blood is not good. But you can see here, I'm clearly excreting excess ketones. Now, when a diabetic excretes ketones, it can be a very, very bad thing in acid ketosis. Most nutritionists and a lot of doctors don't want to understand the difference in nutritional ketosis and acid ketosis. If you're producing any insulin at all, it's unlikely you'll go into acid ketosis. So, just like I said, this is me, and I'm not a doctor, but I do read a lot. So I went ahead and I took a sugar test. My sugar was in the 90s. Actually, it was 90. And this isn't fasting, this is during the day. And that's the same strip with just different lighting. Now, if we look here, this is my overall blood work. The glucose is still high, about 126, about back where it was before. But I just got back heavy in the exercise, and you can see that my potassium's a little high, depending who you talk to. 5.1, 5.2, it's like the upper end. And my glucose is a little high. Now, we look here, we got an A1C now of 6.7, which is really only a little, like a month or two sample. And it's over 3 months' time, but it's a month or two sample of my glucose, because I just got back in the diet really hardcore. I was just doing extreme low carb before. So if you look at the sample of my phone, you'll see that the estimated A1C is 5.8%, which puts me around about 100. Last week was 98, last month. 3 months doesn't really count because it didn't really go back that far. So this is the blood results. My total cholesterol is on the first line. Triglycerides are how they dropped. Now, and then HDL and LDL, good and bad cholesterols and such. Everything's pretty much in spec now that I'm 1 year. We could have a little bit lower LDL, I believe. but the triglycerides are really good, and you could probably have a little bit less cholesterol. But I eat a lot of other foods that don't have cholesterol, but it's my exercise, and I've just gotten heavy back into exercise again. I've kind of been slacking, just doing walking. I'm probably going to go out and buy a bike. I was looking at one for doing a bike trek here from mountain to sea. It's a North Carolina trail, but we'll see. Anyway, this is the blood work I wanted to give you guys. This is just me, and these are my results. It doesn't mean they'll apply to you, but this is what's happened for me. This is my experience on the ketosis diet. Like I said, I've gone up to about 50 carbs a day, so I wasn't necessarily in ketosis most of the time, but now I am, so here we go. All right, I wanted to get that out because I said I would. Should have had it out yesterday, and I'm sorry I didn't. Stuff came up. So that's it. It's North Carolina Prepper. Bleh. Please have a great day. Rate and subscribe. Ask questions, and if I can answer them, I will. All right, have a good one, everybody.